I'm Sarah Clay, and today I'm going to talk to you about where you're going to get new business. So it's 2021. Where are you going to get new business from? Now we're still in lockdown. We can't go out. You're going to go to LinkedIn. LinkedIn is where it's at the moment. There are over 760 million people on LinkedIn, the last time I counted. It's a B2B goldmine. It really is. So it's important that you're on LinkedIn with a really strong presence so that you can sell your services and your goods even on LinkedIn. So you're going to be on LinkedIn, and what do you need to do to be able to sell your business and your wares on LinkedIn? Well, the first thing, the most important thing you need is a really knockout LinkedIn profile, because without that, you're just not going to attract the right kind of people to your business. Your LinkedIn profile is your shop window. It absolutely is. So you need to make sure that your shop window looks attractive, appealing, and it tells people what it is that you're selling. It must be really, really clear. So there are lots of elements to your LinkedIn profile, and I'm going to take a quick run through a few of them now to help you get started on LinkedIn so that you can begin using this amazing platform, which is free, in order to sell your business. Your LinkedIn profile photo, it's really important that you get this right. People do business with people, and business is based on trust. And if you get your profile photo just right, you can really exude the trust that you need in the people looking at your profile photo. So what do you need to do? The first thing is, when you're having your photo taken or taking your photo, is look into the lens. It's really important to have that eye-to-eye contact in your profile photo, just as when you're dealing with people face to face. So make sure you're looking right into the lens when you have your photo taken or when you take your photo. Talking of which, how do you take your profile photo? Does it need to be a professional photo shoot? No, it doesn't, not anymore. We're all a bit more relaxed on LinkedIn than we've ever been before. So a good quality phone will be okay to take your photo, but don't use your arm as a selfie stick, because it sort of distorts the image, and actually that's a little bit too close. Because what happens if the camera's too close, it's going to distort your face, so you'll look a bit wonky, and you don't want to do that. So if you're going to take your own photo, that's fine. Use your phone, but make sure that you stand your phone up against something or on a tripod, and you're a little bit further away and you're not holding on to it. Okay, so that's 2 tips. The third tip is to look approachable. So people, when they're doing business with other people, need to know that they can talk to them, they can discuss things. If they've got a big project, they want to be able to have communication with people that they employ. So make sure you look like you're okay to have that kind of communication. If you're standing like this, you don't look very open and easy to talk to. Whereas if you're like this, then yes, you look much more approachable. Okay, so the quality of the image, this is tip number 4. It has to be decent. It doesn't have to be top quality, but it needs to be reasonably good. So just make sure that it's not grainy or a bit not very good. Okay, so that's it. That's all I say about the quality. The other thing about your photo is what you wear. So make sure that you dress for your job or your position. So if you wear a suit and tie normally in your work, then wear a suit and tie in your photo. If you normally wear a t-shirt, then wear a t-shirt in your photo. Look like yourself and be authentic. I know it's a bit of a buzzword, but it's important that people see you for you. Okay, and finally, framing. If you're too close, it won't look great. But if you're too far away, people won't recognize you. So make sure you kind of fill probably about 2/3 of the frame. And the rule here is to make sure that if somebody bumped into you in the street, that they'd be able to recognize you. So also keep your photo up to date. So that's your profile photo. Now the next visual aid on your LinkedIn profile is your banner. Now, those of you who aren't particularly artistic may think, oh, I don't really need to worry about a banner. I don't need anything visual, but you do, because a banner is important for two reasons. One thing a banner can do is tell your story. It tells the viewer a little bit more about you in a way that words sometimes just can't do. And then also your banner is a bit of personal. You can put something personal in there and highlight something about you that may be a conversation starter. So when somebody visits your profile, they can talk about what's on your banner. You can use all kinds of things for your banner. You can use a photo that you've taken, you can use a stock photo, a photo of your local environment, or a photo of you doing something other than your job or doing your job. So if you've got an interesting hobby, for example, you might want to pop that up on your banner, and that's a great conversation starter. So have a go with different photos, different images, and try to create a banner that tells your story and says something personal about you. So we've done with the visuals, and now we're on to the text. So the first text that we're looking at on your LinkedIn profile is your headline. Now, your headline is absolutely key because it follows you everywhere you go on LinkedIn. Whenever you post, whenever you comment, when you come up in someone's search, your headline will be the first piece of writing that people will see. And in fact, they don't even see your whole headline. So your headline is 220 characters, but what shows is your first kind of 75, 76 characters. So when you're writing your headline, do bear in mind that the first kind of third is really, really important. Okay, so what should your headline do? The first thing your headline needs to do is to talk directly to the people that you want to do business with. Identify them, talk about them. If you work with photographers, say you work with photographers or you help photographers. If you work with businesses of a certain size, say that's who you work with. Because then those people will see what you've written and think, aha, this person is for me. I need to find out more. And then what your headline needs to do is to tell those people how you help them. What do you do? What is it that you can give them? Okay, what's your service or your goods? What are you selling? So talk about that very, very clearly and very specifically. And then the third bit of your headline, you should focus on your differentiator. How are you different from all of the other people that do what you do? What makes you stand out from your competitors? Are you cheaper? Are you more expensive? Are you faster? Do you work in a certain way? So think about how you're different from everybody else. And those three sections of your headline will be brilliant, and they'll be aligned. You'll make them aligned for your ideal customer so that your ideal customer will read them and think, yes, this is the person I need to employ. So who do you help? How do you help them? And why are you different? Now get that written into 220 characters and you're away. Now that isn't always easy, so spend some time, take out any excess words and try and get it down ideally to about 200 characters if you can. So that is how to write your headline. So the last bit of your profile that I'm going to cover in this video is your About section. Now your About section is where you can talk about yourself. And this is really about the only place that you can do this with true success on LinkedIn. But remember, when you're talking about yourself, what you're actually doing is projecting what you can offer of yourself to your customer. Okay, so everything you write on LinkedIn in your profile, everywhere you go on LinkedIn, always bear in mind your customer. How do you speak to them? Will they think what you've written is interesting, amusing, captivating, whatever it is? So always be thinking about your customer when you're writing your About section. Now I've got 6 key steps when you're writing your About section because you've got 2,000 characters. That's actually quite a lot. Once you get going, you'll realize that. So the first thing I'd suggest with your About section is to nail your hook. Now your hook is right at the very beginning. So when somebody goes to your profile, they can see the first kind of couple of lines, and what they see in that first couple of lines is going to decide whether or not they want to read the rest of that section. So you need to hook them in. So whatever you write in those first couple of lines is really, really key. Secondly, talk about what problems you solve for your customers. Talk about those problems and then say how you can solve them. Then talk about what's different about you, a differentiator. So really go into detail on this. I know I mentioned it in your headline, but also in your about section, you can go into much more detail. What's your USP? What's your superpower? Talk about those things in your about section. Then you need to be a little bit personal because people are working with people, right? So if you say something a little bit personal about you, it could be a conversation starter, and it could just tell your audience a little bit more about you so they just feel a little bit more comfortable in your presence. Talk about whether you like tea or coffee, whether you've got pets, where you live, what band you like watching, any of those kinds of things. You don't need to write a lot in this bit, just a little bit to give a hint of who you are, the person behind the job. Then you can also talk in this section about your wins and achievements. What have you done in the past? How have you helped other people? What other companies have you worked with and what results have they achieved? Get specific here. Talk about numbers, talk about metrics, talk about percentages, all of these things. This is about the only place on LinkedIn that it's okay to tell everybody how great you are, but in a way that you're not really showing off. Talk about value that you've added rather than how clever you are. Okay, and then finally at the very, very bottom, you need to make it really easy for people to contact you. So list every single way that you can that people can get in touch. Direct message on LinkedIn, if you've got an email, a website, have you got a calendar link to book an appointment, to chat to you. You could even put your phone number if you felt comfortable doing that. So there you go, my friends. There are 4 sections of your profile that you can really work on to get them absolutely 100% optimized to start really doing more business on LinkedIn. There's lots more to your profile, but this is a great, great start. If you like this video, please comment below. And if you've got any questions, either put them in the comments below or DM me on LinkedIn or send me an email. And let's chat and let's see how I can help you further your LinkedIn journey and grow your business using this amazing, amazing platform called LinkedIn. See you soon.